Thank you, Dr. Cohen, and thank you for your leadership. We're encouraged to see North Carolina holding steady, and because of our stability, today we're taking another careful step forward. North Carolina will move into Phase 3 beginning this Friday, October the 2nd at 5 p.m. So here's what'll change. First, our at-risk population is still safer at home. For those over 65 and those with health risks, we urge responsibility in your choices. For everyone, a face covering is mandatory for those over the age of 5. As the head of the CDC said, a mask is the single best tool we have against this virus. So in this new order, large outdoor venues with seating greater than 10,000 may operate at 7% occupancy for spectators with other safety protocols, as we previewed last week. Similar outdoor entertainment venues, like arenas or amphitheaters, may operate outdoors at 30% of outdoor capacity or 100 guests, whichever is less. Movie theaters and conference centers may open indoor spaces to 30% of capacity or 100 seated guests, whichever is less. Bars may operate outdoors only at 30% of outdoor capacity or 100 guests, whichever is less. Outdoor amusement parks may open at 30% occupancy. The limits on mass gatherings will remain at 25 people indoors and 50 people outdoors. The 11 p.m. curfew on alcohol sales for in-person consumption in locations such as restaurants and now outdoor bars will be extended. Phase 3 continues our state's dimmer switch approach to easing restrictions, and it will be effective through Friday, October the 23rd. I believe that North Carolina can do this safely. But so I'm clear, every gathering carries the risk of spreading this disease. Being safe means being smart and making sure others around you are doing the same. If you're still at high risk, you're still safer at home. If you're going out, do what works. Wear a mask, keep social distancing, wash your hands often, and don't patronize or go to places where people aren't doing that. Until we have a vaccine or a reliable cure, precautions like the 3 W's are with us for a while. Our children can go back to school, and our economy can fully rebuild when we're safe and people have confidence that they can stay healthy. Every careful step we make forward, and every time we wear a mask and keep our distance, we are helping to keep this disease at bay and building a stronger North Carolina. Along with Secretary Cohen today with me is Emergency Management Director Mike Sprayberry. Nicole Fox and Brian Tipton, our sign language interpreters, are with us today. And behind the scenes, Jackie and Jasmine Mativier are our Spanish language interpreters. We thank the media for being with us today. We'll take questions now, beginning with the first one. If you can identify yourself and your organization, we would appreciate it. Thank you.
Our first question is from Dawn Vaughn with the News and Observer.
Hi, Dawn Vaughn with the News and Observer. Thanks for taking my questions. I wanted to ask about the percentages and a little more details about why exact the 7% as opposed to 8-9% and the bigger venues and then 30% for others.
Well, first, we know that these arenas, it's important for people to keep their social distance. You know that when you get that many people together, if you have 3,000 or 4,000 people, which could be 7% of a larger arena, that if they all go together in one place, then that could be a significant problem. So not only do we have the 7%, which is a low percentage, but enough room to keep them safe and to keep them socially distanced, we also have safety protocols to go along with it. I know the Panthers and the Department of Health and Human Services have worked a lot on this, and I think one of the plans that they presented was around that figure, and it looked good and it looked safe for everyone. And I think that was determined to be a good number for these sizes arena, because we want people to keep their social distancing. We don't want them to gather in one place. We want people to be safe. We're trying to make sure we're using this dimmer switch approach in order to gradually get things back, but also protecting from the spread of the virus. You got anything to add to that, Dr. Cohen?
Next question, please.
Follow-up, Dawn Vaughn, News and Observer.
Hi, thanks for taking a follow-up. On the dimmer switch and this end date of October 23rd, do you want to continue phases by numbers, or just make it a longer range and then decide when it's time as far as this exact time frame of different phases and the changes that makes? And also, how much longer do you think the mask mandate should be in place?
Well, the second part of your question first. As I said earlier, I think the mask mandate is going to continue to be important until we have a vaccine or a cure to this virus. I think it's going to be important to protect the population. But I also think on the other part of your question that we will take these 3 weeks to examine the science and the data like we always do, and then make decisions as we get toward the end of this 3-week period about what more North Carolina may do. We made this 3 weeks because we know we're getting into cooler weather. And Dr. Cohen has expressed her concern about the potential for increased virus spread. We're seeing some increases across the country, and we want to make sure that we keep this window short enough so that we can react. And we hope to make some decisions. I hope we can keep our numbers down and stable and that we can continue to move forward. But we have to do this very cautiously. Next question.
Our next question is from Dewan Hogard with ABC 11.
Hey, Governor Cooper, Dewan Hogard with WTVD ABC 11. Thanks for taking this question. The first one would just be if we could get some more clarity with respect to movie theaters. You say 30% or 100 guests. Is that overall or is that per screen? And then secondly, maybe a question for Dr. Cohen as we approach Halloween. Any new guidance as if things progress the way that we would like them to, Halloween would fall after the end of phase 3?
It is 30% per movie screen with also a 100-person cap, whichever is less. And there are safety protocols, guidelines put together by the department to make sure that people are safe and that you don't have gatherings in the main parts of the theater. I'll let Dr. Cohen address the Halloween issue.
Hi, Dewan. Our department put out guidance related to Halloween at the end of last week, so you can go and check out that guidance. But essentially, Halloween's not canceled, but like many things this year, it's going to have to look a little different. And I think it's the perfect opportunity as you're thinking about what you want to be for Halloween. Think about how you're going to incorporate certainly a face covering or a mask as part of that costume. And it's going to hold the same principles. We want to make sure that people are wearing a mask, waiting 6 feet apart, and washing their hands. So when you think of a traditional go door-to-door trick-or-treat, I think that's going to have to look a little different. And we gave some different kinds of options that folks can think about, whether that's a candy hunt in someone's backyard, or there are ways to more safely put candy out so that folks aren't dipping their hands into the same bowl that others might be. So there are options in there to lower everyone's risk. What I will share, as I always do with folks, is that you need to evaluate your own risk as a family and make sure that you're doing things to protect yourself. It doesn't eliminate risk. We can only lower risk. And we do hope that folks do look at that guidance and do some of those lower risk activities. Particularly what I am worried about is parties that are indoors. So again, the governor just spoke in his executive order about mass gathering limits. We don't want to see more than 25 people indoors, 50 people outdoors. Again, that is because we have seen over and over that this virus can spread easily in groups of people. So there's a way to enjoy Halloween. I'm certainly looking forward to that, but we just have to do it a little bit differently this year. Thanks.
Thank you. Next question, please.
Our next question is from John Downey with the Charlotte Business Journal.
Yes, this is John Downey with the Charlotte Business Journal, Governor. I have a non-COVID question. Do you have any reaction to the published reports that NextEra Energy is interested in buying Duke Energy Corp?
I haven't read the article on it. I heard about it today, but what I will say is that North Carolina is proud to be the home of Duke Energy, which is a Fortune 50 company. Duke has been an important partner in our economic development and right here at the Emergency Operations Center in disaster recovery. I'm also pleased with Duke Energy's response to my clean energy plan that I put forward in Executive Order 80 and our commitment to clean renewable energy. Duke's commitment to clean energy will set an important example, and it will help us move our state forward to a stronger clean energy future. Next question, please.
Follow-up, John Downey, Charlotte Business Journal.
Yes, you said you had not seen the articles. Do you have any independent information that indicates that offer may be out there?
I don't have any indication on that, no. Next question, please.
Our next question is from Brian Anderson with the Associated Press.
Hi, Governor. Hi, Dr. Cohen. Brian Anderson here with the AP. I have a question for each of you. First, for the governor, can you commit to reopening schools that have students between the grades of 6th and 12th? We know K-5 is there, but is there any sort of timetable on grades 6 through 12 specifically? And Dr. Cohen, I didn't hear any green really, and I didn't hear any red in the trends you were presenting.